A very good afternoon to the chairperson, panels, and audience. Today, I will be presenting my research entitled Entrepreneurial Self-Efficacy and Entrepreneurial Intention Among Engineering Undergraduates, What Matters the Most in Entrepreneurship Education. My name is Stephanny Sylvester Maluda from the College of Graduate Studies, National Energy University, Malaysia, and I will be representing my co-author, Dr. Rosima Alias, who is also my research supervisor. As you can see from the biography, I have a bachelor's degree in food science and nutrition from the National University Malaysia, and I am a certified trainer under Human Resources Development Corporation in Malaysia. Previously, I worked as a community health officer with mobile clinic and flying doctor team under Sabah Foundation. Now I am a freelance research consultant providing numerous services including translation, formatting, and statistical analysis services. My research interest spans over entrepreneurship, training, and research methodologies. My co-author, Dr. Rosima Alias, is a senior lecturer at National Energy University, supervising me in this research. As can be seen from her profile, apart from lecturing and supervising postgraduate students, she is also a consultant with Tenaga Nasional Berhad, the main utility company in Malaysia. Her immense support and confidence in my ability to carry out this research created a synergistic work relationship within us. Hence, one of the outcomes is these research articles. In the next slide, I'm showing the overall abstract of the paper. However, the gist of the abstract is summarized in the next slide. The research is based on two main objectives that determine the effects of entrepreneurship education, or EE, in terms of curriculum, teaching methodologies, and university support on entrepreneurial self-efficacy, ESE, and entrepreneurial intention, EI, as well as to determine ESE as a mediator to the relationship of EE with EI. As shown, the study is descriptive and quantitative using PLS SEM approach, with 292 respondents from among engineering undergraduates from 4 universities in Malaysia, selected via purposive sampling. Initially, a pilot study was conducted with 30 samples, which indicated satisfactory internal consistency of the adapted measurement scales. The main findings of this study shows that curriculum and university support are aspects of EE that significantly predict ESE and EI. However, teaching methodologies are not a significant predictor of both self-efficacy and intention. Furthermore, ESE, self-efficacy, mediates the relationship of curriculum and university support with EI, but not teaching methodologies. The predictive accuracy of the research model is 38.2% to explain entrepreneurial self-efficacy and 69.8% to explain entrepreneurial intention. The study therefore concludes that EE, particularly curriculum and university support, are important predictors of ESE and EI, but variance in teaching methodologies across universities may have caused insignificant result. Further studies are recommended to determine the type and extent of university support needed the most to promote ESE and EI, as well as comparative study regarding teaching methodologies of entrepreneurship in university. To explain in more detail, entrepreneurial intention is the process of seeking knowledge necessary for business creation, and more specifically, a cognitive process that is purposeful and leading to action. It is considered as a state of mind that is open towards self-employment and reflects one's readiness in terms of ability to observe and analyze the environment with high creativity and productive potential towards achievement. From a theoretical perspective, the theory of planned behavior identified the role of self-efficacy, which is often related to perceived behavioral control to promote intention. Meanwhile, Shapiro's entrepreneurial event model implied the role of entrepreneurship education as an exogenous factor, providing experience that boosts self-efficacy and drive intention. Further to that, entrepreneurship education in this research identifies 3 main features: entrepreneurship curriculum that encompasses both the soft and hard skills to ensure successful business venture. Hard skills are the practical skills, while soft skills are related to attitude, personality, and collaborative work with others. The second feature is teaching methodologies that identifies the use of active learning and learner-centered approach to provide theoretical and practical entrepreneurial skills and knowledge. While the third important feature of entrepreneurship education is the support provided by the university in terms of policies and practices, and also the cultural norms, beliefs, and expectations about entrepreneurial activities among the students. As for entrepreneurial self-efficacy, this relates to Bandura's idea about the individual's ability to control thoughts, feelings, motivation, and actions. It is also about the person's ability to express his strengths during difficulties and failures, and how successes and failures dictate future behaviors. Self-efficacy comprises of performance exoplasm, which is the experience from acting the entrepreneurial behavior; vicarious experience, which are experience from observing the entrepreneurial behavior of others; verbal persuasion, which is the advice and feedback from others; and emotional arousal, which are feelings about entrepreneurial behavior. The conceptual framework of this study leads to the research model, which is shown in this slide. The three independent variables are features of entrepreneurship education that is related to entrepreneurial self-efficacy and entrepreneurial intention, with entrepreneurial self-efficacy as the mediating variable. In this case, the independent variables are entrepreneurship curriculum, teaching methodologies, and university support. The next slide summarizes the research methodology of this study. A quantitative and descriptive research design was used with PLS-SEM approach that uses a sample of 292 engineering students selected using purposive sampling. The research instrument contains adapted measurement scales for entrepreneurship education, entrepreneurial self-efficacy, and entrepreneurial intention, which were refined and validated through pilot study involving a sample of 30 students. In the pilot study, the instrument was translated to offer a dual language questionnaire. Expert panel validated the questionnaire and internal consistency was satisfied, with Cronbach alphas exceeding 0.70 for every variable. The questionnaires was translated as Google online form and distributed through social media, mainly WhatsApp and Facebook. Data collected was analyzed with PLS-SEM to assess both the measurement models and structural model. Now, findings from the measurement model assessment as shown in this slide imply that convergent validity based on autoloading of the indicators, composite reliability, Cronbach alpha, and average variance extracted AVE was satisfied. Further to that, Funnel-Lacke criterion and HTMT ratio indicated acceptable discriminant validity, whereas collinearity issue with variance inflation factor less than 5.0 indicated that there is no collinearity issues in this research. Going to the next slide, the direct and indirect path analysis as shown in this slide indicated that curriculum and university support are significant predictors of ESE and EI, but not teaching methodologies. Similarly, ESE only mediates the relationship of curriculum and university support with EI, but not teaching methodologies. As shown, two of the research hypotheses, H5 and H6, which relates teaching methodologies to ESE and EI, are not supported, while the others are all supported. Similarly, H11, which is the mediation of TM to EI through ESE, is not supported. The research model indicated that entrepreneurship curriculum and university support had small effect sizes, while the effect size of teaching methodologies is negligible. EE as a whole showed a larger effect size on EI. It is also shown that the independent variables were able to explain 38.2% of variance in ESE and 69.8% of variance in EI, which are considered more than substantial. Further analysis with importance performance map analysis for ESE indicated that entrepreneurship curriculum is most important, while the best performer to explain ESE its teaching methodologies. Additionally, the IPMA for EI indicated similar outcome with curriculum as most important and teaching methodologies as the best performance. Nevertheless, university support was also consistently shown to have importance and performance in relation to ESE and EI. The research findings implied a strong support towards the implementation of entrepreneurship for engineering undergraduates to ensure self-efficacy and intention. But this study also highlights the need to scrutinize the what and how aspect of entrepreneurship curriculum, its delivery, and supporting roles of the university. Further to that, in terms of future research endeavors, this study suggests the exploration of provision of other entrepreneurial support, such as financial expertise and participation in more specific entrepreneurial activities, such as incubator program, startup program, and business pitching. Last but not least, a future study should also consider a comparative study on variance in teaching methodologies in different universities. Last but not least, this study concludes that ESE and EI can be further enhanced with the right curriculum and delivery of entrepreneurship education, while at the same time boosted with strong support from the university that stresses on entrepreneurship for both in and out of classroom experience. Thank you for listening to my presentation.